Coming up next on Passion Struck, take a moment to reflect on a time where you had immense pride or deep disappointment in something that you had worked on. Now ask yourself, did I do my best? Did you give it your all, leaving no stone unturned? Or did you hold back, knowing that you could have done more? Welcome to Passion Struck. Hi, I'm your host, John R. Miles, and on the show, we decipher the secrets, tips, and guidance of the world's most inspiring people and turn their wisdom into practical advice for you and those around you. Our mission is to help you unlock the power of intentionality so that you can become the best version of yourself. If you're new to the show, I offer advice and answer listener questions on Fridays. We have long-form interviews the rest of the week with guests ranging from astronauts to authors, CEOs, creators, innovators, scientists, military leaders, visionaries, and athletes. Now, let's go out there and become Passion Struck. In the annals of leadership and personal development, few stories resonate as profoundly as the encounter between a young Jimmy Carter and the formidable Admiral Rickover. This defining moment, etched in history, occurred during Carter's interview for a position in the Navy's burgeoning nuclear submarine program, known for its exacting standards and relentless pursuit of excellence. Admiral Rickover posed a question to Carter that would forever reshape his life and legacy. Did you always do your best? Carter's honest response: no, sir, I didn't always do my best, followed by Rickover's piercing inquiry, why not, serves as a powerful catalyst for self-reflection and intentional living. This simple yet profound exchange highlights the importance of striving for excellence, being truthful with ourselves, and harnessing our personal agency to become the best versions of ourselves. In this episode, we'll delve into the depths of this transformative story, exploring the vital lessons it holds about not settling for less than you're most capable of achieving. We'll uncover how this moment of humility and self-awareness propelled Carter towards a lifetime of distinguished service and leadership, and how we can apply these principles to our own lives. Join me on the power of asking ourselves, did I do my best? And the path to living intentionally in the pursuit of greatness. Admiral Hyman G. Rickover was a towering figure in the history of the U.S. Navy. Born in Poland and immigrating to the United States as a child, Rickover graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy and went on to revolutionize naval warfare by spearheading the development of nuclear propulsion for ships and submarines. His pioneering work not only transformed naval operations, but also set new standards for safety, efficiency, and technological innovation. Rickover would serve a total of 63 years on active duty, making him the longest-serving naval officer, as well as the longest-serving member of U.S. Armed Forces in history. Rickover was renowned for his uncompromising standards and his relentless pursuit of excellence. He was a man of exacting principles who demanded nothing short of the best from himself and those around him. His leadership style was often described as autocratic. His dedication to his mission and his insistence on accountability and integrity earned him widespread respect and admiration. Under his guidance, the U.S. Navy's nuclear program became a paragon of precision and reliability, setting benchmarks that have influenced Navy and civilian engineering to this very day. In 1952, a young Jimmy Carter, having recently graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy, found himself facing an interview with Admiral Rickover. Carter had applied to join the Navy's elite nuclear submarine program, an opportunity that promised both challenge and prestige. During the interview, Rickover's intense and probing questions were designed not only to assess Carter's technical knowledge, but also his character and commitment. Carter initially felt confident, recounting his academic achievements and accomplishments with pride. Jimmy Carter highlighted this interview in his 1976 presidential campaign biography called Why Not the Best, where he narrates, I had applied for the nuclear submarine program, and Admiral Rickover was interviewing me for the job. It was the first time I met Admiral Rickover, and we sat in a large room by ourselves for more than 2 hours. He let me choose any subjects I wished to discuss. Very carefully, I chose those about which I knew the most at that time: current events, seamanship, music, literature, naval tactics, electronics, gunnery, and he began to ask me a series of questions of increasing difficulty. In each instance, he soon proved that I knew relatively little about the subject that I had chosen. He always looked right into my eyes and he never smiled. I was saturated with a cold sweat. However, Rickover's final question finally cut through this veneer. Did you always do your best? Carter's narration continues. I started to say, yes, sir, but I remembered who this was and recalled several times that I could have learned more about our allies, our enemies, weapons, strategy, and so forth. I was just human. I finally gulped and said, no, sir, I didn't always do my best. He looked at me for a long time and then turned his chair around to end the interview. He asked one final question, which I've never been able to forget or to answer. He said, why not? I sat there for a while, shaken, and then slowly left the room. This simple question left Carter speechless and introspective. This moment of humility was pivotal for Carter. The encounter with Rickover exposed a fundamental truth about personal accountability and the pursuit of excellence. It highlighted the gap between his potential and his performance, urging him to strive harder and to aim higher. For Carter, this was more than just a challenging interview. It was a catalyst for change. He realized that to truly excel and to lead, he needed to fully commit to doing his best in all endeavors, no matter how small or routine. This encounter shaped his future approach to leadership and to personal growth, instilling in him values of integrity, perseverance, and intentionality. Intentionality is the practice of making deliberate choices and taking purposeful actions that align with our values, ambitions, and aspirations. It involves living with a clear sense of direction and purpose rather than simply reacting to circumstances. Being intentional means actively shaping our lives by making conscious decisions that reflect what truly matters to us. This approach is crucial for personal and professional development as it allows us to focus our energy and resources on achieving our aspirations. The significance of intentionality lies in its transformative potential. When we are intentional, we set clear goals and take clear, purposeful steps towards achieving them. This positive mindset fosters growth, resilience, and fulfillment. It enables us to navigate challenges with a sense of purpose and to maintain alignment with our core values, leading to a more meaningful and impactful life. Jimmy Carter's interview with Admiral Rickover was a pivotal moment that sparked profound transformation. The question, did you always do your best? And Carter's honest admission of falling short prompted deep self-reflection. The moment underscored the importance of intentionality in pursuing excellence. One of Carter's significant achievements in the Navy exemplifies his commitment to intentionality and doing his best. Carter was a part of a team of nuclear engineers tasked with saving Canada's Chalk River nuclear facility after it had experienced a partial meltdown. Due to their work on the first nuclear submarine, the Nautilus, Rickover and Carter had access to top secret nuclear energy technology, making Carter one of the few capable of handling such a task. The reactor's fuel rods had melted partially, rupturing the reactor and flooding the facility's basement with radioactive water. In his autobiography, A Full Life, Reflections at 90, Carter described how they prepared for the repair by building an exact replica on a nearby tennis court to replicate, practice, and track their progress. Carter and his team members were lowered into the reactor in 90-second intervals to clean the site, the maximum time that humans could safely be exposed to the radiation levels that were present. Due to his dedication to doing his best and demanding the same from his team, they successfully fixed the complex problem. Admiral Rickover later praised Carter's work, noting that it had laid the groundwork for his broader understanding of atomic science. At the 1977 commissioning of a nuclear-powered cruiser, Rickover remarked about Carter, "He did an outstanding job. In the process, he learned much about the practical aspects of nuclear power." This experience, combined with the lessons from his interview with Rickover, propelled Carter to adopt a more intentional and disciplined approach to his endeavors. He understood that achieving his full potential required a steadfast commitment to excellence in every aspect of his life. The shift in mindset was evident in his subsequent achievements in leadership style. Following his service in the Navy, Carter returned to Plains, Georgia, where he took on the role of peanut farmer, but his desire to make a larger impact led him into state politics. In 1962, he entered the political arena, and by 1970, he was elected the governor of Georgia. His tenure as governor was marked by transformative reforms and a commitment to civil rights, reflecting his intentional approach to leadership. In 1977, Carter became the 39th president of the United States. During his presidency, he faced significant challenges, including economic economic difficulties and international crisis. Yet he approached these issues with the same intentionality that he had embraced years earlier. He worked tirelessly to combat inflation and unemployment, oversee the creation of nearly 80 million jobs, and reduce the budget deficit. His domestic achievements included establishing a national energy policy, deregulating industries, expanding the national park systems, and creating the Department of Education. He also bolstered the Social Security system and appointed record numbers of women, Blacks, and Hispanics to government positions. After his presidency, Carter continued to live a life of intentionality and service. He wrote numerous books, including Why Not the Best, and traveled extensively to conduct peace negotiations, monitor elections, and work on eradicating infectious diseases. His involvement with Habitat for Humanity further exemplified his commitment to making a positive impact in the world. In 2002, Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to find peaceful solutions to international conflicts, advance democracy and human rights, and promote economic and social development. This honor was a testament to his lifetime dedication to living with purpose and intentionality. Today, at 99 years old, Jimmy Carter can confidently say that he has lived his best life, continuously striving to make a positive impact in the world. His story is a powerful example of how the principles of personal agency and intentionality can lead to a life of profound significance and lasting legacy. The transformation sparked by his interview with Rickover and reinforced by his experiences underscores the power of intentionality. It demonstrates how a commitment to doing our best, informed by deliberate choices and purposeful actions, can lead to significant personal growth and lasting impact. Carter's journey serves as an inspiring example of how embracing personal agency and intentionality can propel us forward toward becoming our ideal selves and making a meaningful difference in the world. Jimmy Carter's pivotal encounter with Admiral Rickover offers profound insights in living a life with purpose and intentionality. By drawing on the lessons from this story, we can learn to navigate our lives with greater clarity and dedication. Here are 3 key lessons for intentional living that we can glean from Carter's experience. The first takeaway is honest self-assessment. Just as Carter admitted to not always doing his best, we must cultivate the courage to evaluate our efforts honestly. This self-awareness is the foundation of intentional living and the first step towards improvement. By recognizing where we fall short, we can understand our own limitations and identify areas of growth. Honest self-assessment is not about being overly critical, but about embracing a clear and truthful perspective on our performance and behavior. Self-awareness involves a deep understanding of our values, strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. This introspection allows us to make decisions that align with our authentic selves. By constantly engaging in self-reflection, we gain clarity about our true desires and aspirations. So how do you apply these lessons to your life? First, regular reflection. Set aside time each week to review your actions and decisions. Journaling can be a powerful tool for this purpose. Write about your experiences, thoughts, as well as your feelings. Analyze how they align with your values and goals. For example, regularly ask yourself, am I doing my best? And be honest with your assessment. Second, seek feedback from trusted friends, family members, or mentors. They can provide valuable perspectives on your behaviors and decisions, helping you to see areas for improvement. For example, schedule regular feedback sessions with a mentor to discuss your progress and identify areas for growth. Third, utilize assessment tools like the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, the Enneagram Personality Test, or the Gallup Strength Finder to gain deeper insights into your personality and strengths. For example, take an assessment and review the results to understand your strengths and areas where you can improve. Fourth, practice mindfulness by introducing this practice into your routine to allow you to enhance your self-awareness. Meditation, deep breathing exercises, and mindful journaling can help you stay present and attuned to your thoughts and feelings. A great way to practice this is to spend 10 minutes each morning meditating at the start of your day to establish clarity and focus. By regularly engaging in these practices, you create a habit of continual improvement, essential for your personal and professional development. Use this reflection to identify areas for growth and higher standards for yourself, ultimately guiding you towards a more intentional and fulfilling life. The second key takeaway is to embrace intentionality. Carter's encounter with Rickover highlighted the need for a deliberate approach to his duties and ambitions. Intentional living requires setting clear, defined goals. Without specific goals, it's challenging to measure whether you're truly doing your best. By living intentionally, You ensure that your actions are purpose driven and aligned with your long term vision. So, how do you apply this takeaway into your life? First, use the SMART criteria to set your goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. This enhances clarity and feasibility. For example, instead of setting vague goals like "I want to improve my career," aim for something more specific, such as earning a promotion to senior manager within 2 years by developing my skills and exceeding performance targets. Second, once you have your goals, break them down into smaller, manageable steps. This approach makes larger goals feel less overwhelming and allows you to track your progress more effectively. For example, if your goal is to write a book, break it down into steps, such as creating an outline, writing daily, and setting deadlines for each chapter. The third thing that you can do is to create a vision board, which is a visual representation of your goals and aspirations, including images, quotes, and words that inspire you. Display your vision board where you see it daily to keep your goals top of mind. Things that you can do here are to include pictures of your career achievements, healthy habits, or personal milestones that allow you to stay motivated and focused. And then fourth, review and adjust your goals regularly to ensure that they stay aligned with your values and circumstances. Life is dynamic, and your goals may need to evolve over time. So a great way to approach this is to conduct quarterly and biannually reviews to assess your progress and make necessary adjustments. And then fifth, find accountability partners who can help you stay on track. They could be friends, family members, or colleagues who have similar goals or values. Regular check-ins with your accountability partners can provide motivation and support. For example, schedule weekly or monthly check-ins to discuss progress, challenges, and next steps. By developing a habit of setting clear, purposeful goals and breaking them down into actionable steps, you can pursue them with determination and focus. These practices will help you live more intentionally, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your long-term vision and values, ultimately enhancing productivity and bringing a deeper sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. And then the third key takeaway is continuous improvement, which is essential for achieving your ideal self. Carter's story teaches us that recognizing past shortcomings is crucial. But more importantly, we must strive for ongoing growth. In the words of Bruce Lee, if you always put a limit on everything you do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life. There are no limits. There are only plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. To live intentionally, you must push beyond perceived limitations, continuously learning and stepping outside your comfort zone. So how do you apply this lesson to your life? First, prioritize continuous learning by seeking knowledge and experiences that challenge and broaden your understanding. Engage in both formal and informal learning through courses, certifications, books, workshops, podcasts, and educational videos. For example, invest in professional development opportunities like conferences, seminars, or online courses to stay sharp and adaptable. Second, hold yourself accountable for your actions and your choices. Embrace mistakes as learning opportunities and reflect on what you can do different next time. For example, if a project fails, analyze what went wrong and develop a plan to improve in the future rather than going around blaming external factors. Third, consciously push for more by committing yourself to continuous improvement and stepping out of your comfort zone. Prioritize learning and adaptability by expanding your knowledge and capabilities. For example, take on new challenges at work that will require you to develop new skills, even if they seem daunting initially. Fourth, practice resilience by building mental strength to navigate setbacks and obstacles without losing sight of your commitment to excellence. For example, when faced with a setback, adapt and find alternative solutions instead of being discouraged. By adopting a mindset of continuous improvement, you commit to a lifelong journey of learning and personal growth. As Les Brown said, the only limits to the possibilities in your life tomorrow are the buts you use today. Decide today to end the excuses that you're giving yourself for not doing your best and consciously put these actions into practice to live the wholesome life that you desire. As we wrap up today's episode, let's reiterate the profound importance of intentionality in personal development. Jimmy Carter's transformative encounter with Admiral Rickover serves as a powerful reminder that while we might not always do our best, recognizing this fact and striving for improvement is what propels us towards becoming our ideal selves. Carter's journey underscores the necessity for honest self-assessment, the value of setting purposeful goals, and the power of continuous improvement. His story teaches us that intentional living requires a commitment to evaluating our efforts truthfully, aligning our actions with our values and consistently pushing beyond our perceived limitations. I encourage you to reflect on your own journey, embrace personal agency, understanding that you have the power to shape your life through deliberate choices and purposeful actions. Commit to living intentionally in pursuit of your goals, and don't shy away from the hard questions and the challenging paths. Remember, the journey to becoming passion-struck is ongoing and requires intentional effort. Let Carter's story inspire you to live with purpose and dedication. By doing so, you will not only achieve personal excellence, but you'll also make a meaningful impact in the world around you. I hope you all enjoyed today's show, and I wanted to thank everyone who wrote in this week and especially those who listened. You're about to hear a preview of the Passion Struck podcast interview I did with Professor Alex Edmonds, a luminary in finance and economics at the London School of Business. In this episode, we delve into his compelling new book, May Contain Lies: How Stories, Statistics, and Studies Exploit Biases, and what we can do about it. Discover how Alex dismantles the minefields of misinformation that bombard our lives, from fabricated tales to flawed studies, and provides strategies to thrive in a world awash in misinformation.
David Attenborough comes always close to the top of the greatest revered Britons of all time. So maybe Winston Churchill is number one, but he is not close behind, because all of his work using evidence to show the importance of climate change and its impact on the environment. So why is it when you see such strong evidence, might people not respond to it in the way that they should? It is because of these biases, and these biases are reinforced by the fact that sometimes climate change is a matter of identity and politics rather than science. So one great documentary on climate change was An Inconvenient Truth, and that was laden with facts and figures and evidence. But because it was about Al Gore, this made it seem like a Democrat versus Republican issue. So even if you're a Republican who's able to understand data and science and you're generally rational, now your identity feels threatened because you think, well, climate change is something that people like them believe, and people like us, we should resist.
Remember that we rise by lifting others, so share this show with those that you love and care about. And if you found today's episode useful on doing your best, then definitely share it with your family and friends who could use this information. In the meantime, do your best to apply what you hear on the show so that you can live what you listen. And until next time, go out there and become passion-struck.